Faith, fire, and forward motion, the unstoppable power of believing. The first time I heard Patricia Fuller speak, the air in the room changed. It wasn't just her words, though they were powerful. It was something deeper, something almost tangible that shifted in the atmosphere. There's a certain quality some people possess that transcends mere charisma or intelligence. It's a blend of wisdom, authenticity, and spiritual groundedness that makes you lean forward in your seat, that makes you believe again in possibilities you'd nearly abandoned. Patricia Fuller is that rare voice. She doesn't just inspire with words, she transforms with presence. Her impact on Black entrepreneurship and faith based leadership has created ripples that have become waves, touching countless lives across continents. Through her mentorship programs, speaking engagements, and community initiatives, she's helped thousands reclaim their power and purpose. What makes Patricia extraordinary isn't just her remarkable success, but how she's dedicated her life to ensuring others find theirs. What struck me most in our conversation wasn't just her insights, but how she embodies the very principles she champions. Today, I want to share the profound wisdom Patricia Fuller revealed. Wisdom that might just change everything for you, as it has for so many others. Have you ever stood at the edge of your dreams, peering over the precipice, and felt that paralyzing cocktail of hope and terror? That moment when you know you should jump, but your feet feel cemented to the ground? We all have. And that's precisely where our journey begins today. Because what separates those who leap from those who retreat isn't talent, it isn't connections, it isn't even opportunity, it's belief. Belief paired with divine guidance. When Patricia shared the story of Benjamin Fernandez, founder of Nala in Tanzania, I was riveted. Here was a man who faced rejection after rejection, not just the standard startup struggles, but rejections tinged with bias about his background and doubts about his market's potential. Investors couldn't see past their limited understanding of Tanzania's fintech possibilities. But Benjamin saw something else entirely. Raised with limited resources but surrounded by strong community support, his early life was defined by financial instability that would have crushed many spirits. Instead, it forged his resolve. When he pitched his vision for Nail, he wasn't just presenting a business model. He was offering a solution born from lived experience, a solution he knew in his bones would work. And yet, door after door closed. What kept him going wasn't blind optimism. It was a profound, unshakable self belief coupled with faith that transcended the immediate circumstances. He trusted not just in his vision, but in a greater purpose guiding his path. The rejections weren't personal failures, Patricia explained, they were redirections. Benjamin leaned into strategic networking within African business circles. He refined his model, he persisted, and eventually, that persistence culminated in $40 million dollars in funding, a victory not just for him, but for countless young African entrepreneurs watching from the sidelines, wondering if their dreams could ever take flight. This is what Patricia Fuller emphasized repeatedly in our conversation. The combination of unwavering faith and determined action creates an unstoppable force. When you believe deeply enough in your vision and trust that a higher power is guiding your steps, obstacles become opportunities and closed doors become invitations to find better pathways. But here's what most motivational talks won't tell you: this journey is brutally hard, and it's nearly impossible to walk alone. Which brings me to the second profound insight from our conversation. Community isn't just nice to have, it's essential for survival and success. The Black Men in Business program in Canada demonstrates this principle beautifully. When the BBPA launched this initiative, they recognized something critical. Traditional incubators rarely address the cultural context or systemic barriers facing Black men entering entrepreneurship. These entrepreneurs weren't just facing standard startup challenges, they were navigating undercapitalization and limited access to networks that understood their unique experiences. The program solution wasn't just technical training, it was 6 weeks of structured workshops led by professionals who'd walked similar paths, plus peer to peer support culminating in pitch competitions with real funding at stake. The results speak volumes. Graduates report dramatically increased confidence. Many have scaled startups or launched new ventures. But perhaps most powerfully, alumni now mentor newcomers, creating a compounding community impact as each cohort pays it forward. What began as training has sparked national conversations about representation while nurturing generational wealth creation within Black communities. This is the power of finding your people, of surrounding yourself with those who see your vision, who understand your struggles, who believe in your potential, even when the evidence is scarce. As Patricia put it, when you can't believe in yourself, borrow belief from your community until your own faith muscles strengthen. But what happens when even that community support feels insufficient against the magnitude of your challenges? That's when we turn to the third insight from our conversation: embracing resilience as a practice, not a personality trait. Morgan DeBaun's journey with Blavity Inc. illuminates this principle perfectly. When she left corporate America to build what would become one of the leading digital media companies focused on Black culture, she faced skepticism from investors unfamiliar with her audience focus. She was bootstrapping her venture amid broader tech industry disparities, fighting for recognition in spaces that weren't designed with her in mind. What distinguished Morgan wasn't that she never doubted, it was how she handled those doubts when they inevitably arose. Every challenge I've faced taught me something about myself, Morgan has said. When I doubted my path, most was when I needed my faith most. She leaned into her deep understanding of community needs and trusted her instincts to create authentic content. The result? Blavity now connects millions globally, has raised capital from prominent VCs, and has set new standards for inclusive media representation. But here's what's truly remarkable: Morgan didn't just create space for herself, she redefined what leadership looks like at scale for herself and future generations. Her journey has paved the way for diverse voices in media brands while inspiring waves of young women leaders globally. This is the essence of what Patricia Fuller emphasized throughout our conversation. Your obstacles aren't just personal hurdles to overcome, they're preparation for the impact you're meant to have. Your struggles today become someone else's roadmap tomorrow. When you view challenges through this lens, as preparation rather than punishment, everything shifts. But let's be honest, this perspective isn't always easy to maintain when you're in the thick of difficulty, when rejection letters pile up, when funding runs low, when doubt creeps in during those 3 a.m. moments of truth. That's when Patricia's wisdom hits hardest. Faith isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward despite it, with your hand firmly in God's. This combination, human determination paired with divine guidance, creates a foundation that can withstand any storm. I'm reminded of something Patricia shared from her conversation with a young entrepreneur who'd faced 7 consecutive rejections. The entrepreneur told her, I stopped asking why me and started asking what next. That subtle shift from victim mentality to agency, from passive questioning to active problem solving, changes everything. And it's available to each of us right now, regardless of our circumstances. So, where does this leave us? With 3 powerful truths that can transform not just our professional journeys, but our entire approach to life's challenges. First, you possess inner strength to overcome any challenge when you set your mind to it and trust God's guidance through the process. This combination of faith and determination isn't just inspirational rhetoric, it's a proven pathway for breakthroughs, as Benjamin Fernandez demonstrated with Nala. Second, community, mentorship, and supportive networks aren't luxuries, they're necessities, especially for those navigating paths with additional systemic barriers. The BMIB program shows how surrounding yourself with like minded individuals who believe in your vision helps you navigate setbacks, celebrate wins, and keep moving forward. And third, every journey has obstacles. Embracing resilience, learning from setbacks, and celebrating progress, no matter how small, are crucial steps on the road to lasting impact. Morgan DeBond's story with Blavity reminds us that our stories matter not just to us, but as inspiration for others walking similar paths. I want to leave you with this challenge. Look at the obstacle in front of you right now, Chichezu, the one that feels insurmountable, the one keeping you awake at night. Now imagine it's not a wall, but a door that's waiting for the unique combination of your courage and faith to unlock it. What if that obstacle isn't blocking your path, but actually creating it? What if your struggle isn't meaningless, but is precisely what will give meaning to someone else's journey? What if your moments of greatest doubt are actually invitations to your deepest faith? The world doesn't need more people who never struggled. It needs people who struggled and kept going anyway, people who fell and got back up, people who faced rejection and still believed, people who lost everything and started again. The world needs you, not despite your challenges, but because of how you're choosing to face them. So take that step, make that call, write that business plan, apply for that funding, reach out to that mentor, trust that inner voice that's been whispering more all along. Your breakthrough isn't just waiting for you, it's waiting for all the people you'll help once you get there. And that breakthrough begins with a simple choice: to believe when doubt seems more reasonable, to move when fear suggests stillness, to trust when evidence is scarce. This is your moment, not just to dream, but to decide, not just to hope, but to act, not just to believe, but to become. The world is waiting. Your community is waiting. Your purpose is waiting. What will you do with this moment?